What to expect at your USCIS affirmative asylum interview. You should receive a notice in the mail that tells you the exact location, date, and time of your interview. This you will present to the security officer before passing through the metal detector, as well as a form of identification. Once in the general waiting area, you will head over to one of the windows where you will present your passport or form of identification and any additional evidence that you would like to submit to USCIS prior to starting your interview. If your interpreter or lawyer are present, they will also present their IDs at this time or information about your lawyer if they're going to be joining the interview from a call. You will then be asked to go sit down in the waiting area to wait for the officer to come out and get you. They will usually call you with a set of numbers that you will be provided with at the window. They will then escort you to their office where you will be able to sit across from the officer and have your interpreter or lawyer to your side. The officer will introduce themselves and will let you know what the interview is going to consist of, which typically is divided into multiple parts. The first thing is always the oath, where they will ask you to stand up, raise your right hand, and swear to tell the truth, only the truth, and nothing but the truth. If your interpreter is present, they will also do an oath to promise to translate everything correctly and accurately. The next part that follows is a review of your application. This is where they go over your personal information, including your full name, date of birth, birthplace, information about spouse, children, family members, where they live, or if they're deceased, previous jobs, and previous addresses. They will also ask about your last arrival to the United States, in what city, and what was your status at that time. The officers understand and know that changes can happen since the time of your application, so they will have a red pen handy and they will count the number of changes total on your application. And when you have completed the personal information review with them, they will go through those specific changes as well and make sure everything looks exactly how it should be. This next part of the interview is the part that usually takes the longest, but again, this is case-by-case basis. This is the part of the interview where they're going to be asking you some of the toughest questions and you're going to have to be ready to answer them. They're going to ask you what your reason is for requesting asylum and ask for any details or evidence that would support that claim. If there's any details or things that you don't remember, the officer usually lets you know that it's okay to say you don't know or you don't remember. You'll see the officer typing on their computer for the majority of this part of the interview, and that's just because they are typing up your testimony. If you have an interpreter present, remember, they are your voice and your ears. Speak clearly and make sure that you don't use any run-on sentences because it can be hard for the interpreter to translate everything accurately. The officer will remind you that no side conversations are allowed with your interpreter, and as weird as this might sound and feel, you are going to try your best to maintain eye contact with the officer, even if the interpreter is interpreting for you or you are speaking in your native language before the interpreter is able to translate. Once you have completed the testimony with the officer, they will then let you know that a decision will be mailed out to you and to your lawyer. They will let you know of the possible outcomes, which could be approval, or it could be that they could not come to a conclusion and your case will be sent over to the court for you to have another opportunity to present your case. If you have any specific questions, please reach out to your lawyer. We are document preparers and interpreters and have made this video for you based on our experiences and for educational purposes.